Hell Night. Not an impressive title. And I know this, and this is just one of many 80s slasher movies, or movies within that, general area, that have really basic names like, Night of the Living Dead, and then everybody started saying Night of this and Night of that, or it was Hell Night, or it was
becomes like a
Jason Goes to Hell, or whatever. If you put Hell or Night in your title, you're done. You've got it.
You know what
move
genre
on to the
you're
next
in.
thing. Yeah.
Yep. Move on.
And there was no reason in hell, pun intended, that a movie called Hell Night should hit, but it did. This is a, dare I say, really good slasher movie.
Wow.
As far as the
rare recommendation.
as far as the like rip off
Yeah.
subsection
Kind
of
of
the
like
genre
the second
goes.
tier movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this was on what the horror genre experts would say. This was on the tail end of the first slasher craze.
Yeah.
So from 78 to about 81, 82, kicked off with the first Halloween, and then by about Friday the 13th, Part 3, people were like, okay, we're done with this. And then it would wait until 84 with the first Nightmare on Elm Street before things kicked back into gear again. And the worst tagline ever.
Pray for
day. So let me break this down for you. I'm going to do something that I typically just don't care to do, which is use other people's words to sort of make my point about this movie. Because I was really interested to find out that I was not the only one who liked this. Other horror fans have gotten on to IMDb and said, "Hey, here's a couple of titles of people's reviews. Yeah. One Hell of a Night, 7 out of 10 stars.
Okay.
Atmospheric blend of two horror subgenres, 9 out of 10 stars.
Wow.
And this is the one I think is most accurate. An enjoyable Scooby-Doo episode, rated R, 7 out of 10 stars.
Huh, okay.
This is a very Scooby-Doo-ish movie.
Yeah, that is a perfect way to describe
this
it. This
is about a couple of college kids who are, I think it's a dare. They're challenged to stay the night in a supposedly haunted mansion.
Yep.
And there's 4 of them. And then slowly they start uncovering the fact that there's a monster hiding in the basement.
Yeah.
And it plays out like a fucking Scooby-Doo episode.
Is there a mask reveal at the end?
No.
Oh.
There's a reveal that there is, spoiler alert, there's a reveal for the fact that there's actually 2 monsters. They're twins as opposed to one. So that's kind of the Scooby-Doo-ish twist, if you will. But this is a classic example of a really obvious, really unimpressive plot being boosted by a competent director, which you don't often see in this genre.
Those do help out when they're there.
And a surprisingly solid cast. So the final girl is Linda Blair. Now, horror fans know Linda Blair as the little girl from The Exorcist. And then she grew up to do a lot of shitty 80s horror movies in this vein. But she's the main chick. And then there's a guy named Vincent Van Patten, who I've seen in one other movie called Rock and Roll High School. But the rest of the cast is unknowns. But the 4 main people have solid chemistry, both romantic and just as friends. The 2 main guy characters are like, they remind me of what classic 80s, male friendships are. This is just one that got, snuck in under the radar and was never acknowledged. But the cast is really strong in this movie, and I think that was probably the most delightful thing to find out about it.
Because I do think it is kind of a testament that, even if you do work within a really overplayed genre, as long as you do it well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You don't even have to do necessarily anything unique per se.
Yeah. And that was actually just a movie that I watched maybe a month ago.
Okay.
And so I'm still kind of right in the initial hype of having found such a good movie. What I like about this movie, what I like about stumbling upon a movie like this, it reminds me of something that Stephen King said, where he's like, the horror movie buff lives for that. I mean, I'm very much paraphrasing. This is not his wording at all. But they very much live for like that area where, as you kind of said, it's not mediocrity and it's not excellent, but it's that B level where if you can find a movie that's halfway decent and has a couple of moments of pure gold or a couple of reasons to watch the whole thing and stick with it, that's kind of what we live for.
Yeah.
Because it truly is a very weird genre where there's like several excellent movies and we're constantly chasing that high of like, can I get something please, that resembles this? And this is an example of that. This hit a spot.
So. I guess you mentioned it briefly, but so your enjoyment of this movie, was it more about the moments within it, or was it more about the quality of it?
It's about, I mean, to me, the moments make the quality.
Okay.
Is how I would phrase it. But it's got a lot to do with the characters, because it's so hard to find horror movies, even among the, culturally revered ones. It's hard to find ones where I actually like the characters and care about if they die or not.
I feel like especially in this genre at this time.
Like, because these were being made for a dime a dozen, and there was no reason to put any effort into the screenwriting. Make no mistake, no effort was put into the screenwriting. It's these actors, like I said, that elevated these characters. And I knew exactly what kind of movie this was. I knew only Linda Blair was going to survive, but I was like, come on, at least let her boyfriend live. I kind of like the guy. Like, he didn't, but I was rooting for it.
But there was investment for a change,
And it's really nice to be able to root for the characters you're supposed to sympathize with, as opposed to the killer. Because the slasher genre, the reason non-slasher fans think slasher fans are weird is because we're constantly like, go Jason, murder the next teenager.
Unintentionally they become like an anti-hero.
Yeah, because they have more personality than the
actual
kids they're killing.
So I guess, does this movie kind of follow into some of the same things, or like the four main characters, they all kind of fit within a trope, or are they more built up than that as well?
Sort of. There's some very obvious character dynamics in 80s teen movies, or just 80s movies featuring teenagers
in general,
that you will see almost always some or all of the following. You will see the main guy or girl who's unfortunately mostly the boring one, and they're kind of there to be the moral center, and then you'll see the horny best friend, always there. You'll see the guy who's comedic relief, which I suppose the horny best friend is also supposed to be comedic relief, so there's some crossover. The other comedic relief guy is there to be comedic relief that you don't feel guilty about laughing at.
Gotcha.
Whereas sometimes the horny best friend takes it a bit too far. And then there's the really smoking hot girl who offers nothing but her looks, because it was the 80s. And occasionally she might have a more intellectual kind best friend who at least has glasses and is a little more prissy.
Which I do think, just to draw the earlier comparison, does kind of, to an extent, also like describe the Scooby-Doo cast.
Yes, kind of.
Just replace like Shaggy's horniness for like a lust for food,
right?
Yeah, and it fits it. So,
and it's you could say in a more general way, it's just the irresponsible friend, whether they're chasing drugs or sex or whatever, or food.
A good hoagie.
Well, he's chasing food because he's high.
Well, yeah. But it's a kid show, so they can't see.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, so there's four main characters there, and I would say they, for the most part, strike the four big ones there. You've got the main chick, who's the moral center, kind of boring. Her love interest, who is just the kind of all-around good guy.
Yeah, just a straight man.
His friend is the horny best friend, and then the horny best friend is after the smoking hot chick, and that's your four lead characters.
That's how it goes.
Those two guys, the two guy actors, are really just good.
The chemistry
they're really good, and it saddens me that that a movie like this has to go undersung just based on the genre that it's in. No one's ever gonna fucking talk about this movie.
There could have been a better outlet.
They really charmed me. It was just such a pleasant surprise.
So did any of these actors, you mentioned that aside from the main star, the rest of them were kind of unknowns. Did they ever feature in anything together after this, or no?
Not together, no. Not as far as I would know. I don't think any of them probably did anything worthwhile past this point. Frankly, fair. I was surprised to say that Linda Blair, the girl from The Exorcist, was in more than one good movie herself.
That's fair, yeah.
Because I had not heard anything great about her career post-Exorcist, child actor type of situation.
So she just kind of was a genre star.
Yeah, that, and she probably... she's not like overweight or anything, but she was a little chubby cheeked even now that she was grown up, and she probably didn't fit what most producers would want out of an
Just
80s
for, like,
actress.
kind of the unfortunate beauty standards.
Yeah, so even if you just wanted to blame it on that, I mean, she just wasn't really set up to be a big star. Like a lot of other movies, I think it's the fact that it is just so hopeless, for lack of a better word, that makes it special. You know, I got to discover something that never in my life would I have thought was going to be any good. On another day, I might have just skipped over entirely, and I never would have known. And that's the delight of
just kind of stumbling on something good,
of getting to that part in my movie watching career where I feel that I've seen almost everything that I have ever been told I should see, and now it's just digging through the garbage until I find something that really just hits a chord with me.